Hawkeye, episode 4. So here we are, episode 4, let's get straight to it. Ultimately, I was hoping that this episode would push on and push forward. You know, episode 3 was decent, and like I've said, 3 and 4 seem to be the best episodes of the shows so far. So I was hoping they'd really push on and get something good going here, but unfortunately, no. This episode did disappoint me. The cliffhanger from episode 3 with Jack holding the sword, you know, the Ronin sword, on Clint himself, ultimately just turned into a nothing. You know, it's just a nothing moment. It was just a cliffhanger that was meant to seem more dramatic, but ultimately it did lead to nothing apart from a somewhat awkward exchange between Clint meeting Kate's parents, or, you know, her mother and the stepfather at least. So that was a disappointment. What followed was probably the best point of the episode, the best part of the episode overall, which was the part where Clint and Kate just sort of have like a nice sort of downtime moment. You know, they're at the flat and, you know, they like watch some movies and they just kind of get to know each other. He shows her some tricks and stuff, and that was like a nice little moment because it was actually focused on the acting rather than like this plot line that doesn't really seem to be going anywhere. So that was nice. The downtime, that was probably the highlight of the episode, in all honesty. But that was a good little moment, and, you know, you kind of get some reflection on how he's feeling ever since he lost Nat, because, you know, you can tell that's bothering him, and you get a little bit of that, and also Kate discovers that he was the Ronin, and that's how he was coping with stuff during the blip. Then we move on to another sort of plot line, which, I don't know, like Clint is looking for a watch that I think that was at the auction possibly, and he said it belongs to a friend, and if anyone were to discover it, apparently they could link an identity to it. So we're not sure who the watch belongs to, but I'm guessing it has some sort of information connected to it that, you know, could reveal someone's secret. But of course, when they go looking for the watch, they ultimately discover that it is in Echo's apartment, so therefore Echo gets involved, and, you know, there's a fight scene, and then, of course, a random assassin shows up, because why not? You know, let's throw that in there, and, you know, you kind of got like a four-way fight scene going on. It's a bit strange. And because Echo and this assassin are clearly well-trained, you know, Clint is just about keeping up with it, but he can see that Kate isn't, she's not ready for this, and she risks dying, and, you know, he gets sort of, not like a flashback, but he's linking it with how he lost Natasha and stuff, so he's just thinking, nah, I don't want any of this. So he does the cliche thing where he's like, no, you're not right for this, you're too immature, you're too young, you're not ready, I don't want to lose you, rah, 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 please just get out of here. And he, you know, he projects it in a way like he's mad at her for not being good enough, how it's all her fault, when, like I said, it's the cliche thing. Like, he just wants her out of the way so that she can be safe. And, you know, he tells her to piss off, basically. I imagine this will probably end up with, you know, one of them, you know, they go their separate ways. One of them needs help, and then the other one comes in and saves them. And you know, then they're friends again, and it's all good in the hood, you know. We've seen it before. But Kate doesn't leave right away. You know, she comes back, and, you know, Echo jogs on, whatever. And then the assassin is revealed, and it is revealed to be Nat's sister from the Black Widow movie. I can't remember her actual character's name, but yeah, she's in it. I had a feeling it would be her because I'd heard things. I was praying and hoping that it wouldn't be her, but it is her. The reason I say that is because I didn't like her character in the movie. I just thought it was annoying, boring, and, you know, I'd never really wanted to see any more of her, in all honesty. But it's her. Now she's involved with this, and she's involved with this plot that seems to be going nowhere. I mean, why she's involved, it's unclear. She's been sent, I don't know whether to deal with Clint or to deal with Echo. I think to deal with Echo, because she was fighting Echo as well as Clint. I assume that's why she's there, but I get, you know, it's meant to be quite a serious thing if a Black Widow agent is being sent in to get involved. But yeah, possibly she's coming in to do with the watch, but ultimately this now adds another element to the show that has 2 episodes left, and in 4 episodes it feels like we've barely made any progress. I was hoping this episode would push on from last week, but it hasn't. You know, a story more focused on the acting rather than the action would be better, you know, something a little more confined, because this is just, it seems like it's just trying to set up stuff and bring in all these characters, but it's not really having any emotional impact, and it's not really taking the story very far, because they just keep throwing things in, and, you know, sidetracks and all this sort of stuff, and the comedy moments aren't really landing. They just feel sort of shoehorned in, because they're like, oh, okay, we are an MCU show, so we've got to have some silly humor in there, but it's not even landing because it just doesn't really feel warranted or needed. Honestly, I don't have a huge amount of optimism for the remaining episodes right now, but so far this has been the poorest episode for sure. I'm going to give this episode a 5 out of 10. Please let me know what you thought about it, though. Did you enjoy it, or how do you think it's going to end? Because I really don't know. In all honesty, I'm not overly fussed. Like, yeah, I'm invested in the MCU, but this is poor from them, I've got to say. And it's heading, you know, it's closer to WandaVision than the other two in terms of quality right now. So yeah, we'll see. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.